In the heart of northeastern Pennsylvania, where coal once fueled a nation and steel rails stick together towns and industries, a railroad refused to fade in history. Born from the remains of fallen giants, the Reading, Blue Mountain, and Northern Railroad is much more than a short line. It is a living link between America's industrial past and railroading present. From heavy freight trains grinding upgrades through mountain grades to massive steam locomotives starting once again, this railroad has done many things that were thought to be impossible and has brought back the golden age of railroading. Nicknamed the Road of Anthracite, the Reading and Northern is a Class II regional railroad that runs from northern Reading to Packerton, Pennsylvania. Its main line consists of the Reading Division, running between Reading and Packerton, and the Lehigh Division, running between Lehighton and DuPont. This main line gives the Reading and Northern a direct route from Reading to Scranton, the first such route to exist under the control of a single railroad. Founded in 1983 by Andy Miller Jr., the Reading and Northern took over from Conrail on the ex-Pennsylvania Railroad Schuylkill branch, which runs between Reading and Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. The railroad quickly grew over the next several decades and later became the largest privately owned Class II railroad in the United States. Its main freight cargo is anthracite coal, a type of hard coal that has a high carbon concentration. The Reading and Northern also sees significant shipments in forest products, minerals, food, metals, and consumer products, along with other things. The motive power used to pull these trains varies widely, ranging from SW8 switchers, SD38s and SD39s for local work, and finally, SD40s and SD50s for road work. Through these different types of locomotives, the Reading and Northern can tackle any task thrown at them without any problems. The Reading and Northern services their own rail equipment. They have a full locomotive and car shop in Port Clinton, Pennsylvania. It's at this location where locomotives and rolling stock are maintained, fixed, repainted, and stored before going back out onto the road. Excursion train passenger cars, the F units, and the steam shop also call Port Clinton home as well. Port Clinton also serves as a railroad's headquarters, allowing for smooth and reliable operations. Unlike other Class II railroads, the Reading and Northern has a subsidiary railroad, the Lehigh Gorge Scenic Railroad, which runs passenger excursions out of historic Jim Thorpe. These trains are typically pulled by GP38s and GP39s, but other locomotives have been seen running these trains. Typically, train rides travel about 16 miles and they last about 70 minutes. Set aside from the Lehigh Gorge Scenic Railroad, the Reading and Northern also runs daily passenger trains, using diesel rail cars, or RDCs. These trains leave the either Reading Outer Station or Pittston Regional Station and travel to Jim Thorpe. Along the way, the RDCs stop at several stations and flag stops to pick up additional passengers. One of these locations is Port Clinton. Once in Jim Thorpe, the passengers disembark the train for a 3-hour layover before returning to their station of origin. Along with the daily RDC excursions, the Reading and Northern also has some special event excursions. They use an A-B set of F units, F9A number 270 and F7B number 275. Both F units were acquired by the Reading and Northern in 2019 after Norfolk Southern sold them when they were decreasing their amount of motive power in their roster. The F units are typically used in excursions out of Reading on fall foliage excursions and on Lehigh Gorge scenic excursions, along with other special event excursions, but they also can be used by CEO Andy Miller Jr. for his personal use. Excursion trains that have a large number of passenger cars, for example, the fall foliage excursions, and the SD50 is placed behind the F units to allow for extra attractive effort. In addition to this, it also allows for extra redundancy in case anything happens to the F units over the road. In addition to the 270 and the 275, the Reading and Northern acquired two additional F7A units back in 2017. Numbers 250 and 251 were bought inoperable and placed into storage. But in late 2025, a decision was made to restore number 251 and use 250 for parts. With the second operational A unit, the Reading and Northern would be able to make a complete A-B set of F units. In addition to the F units, the Reading and Northern also has a steam program, which 3 locomotives make up the roster. The 225, originally the 1098, a 460 10-wheeler built by and for the Canadian Pacific in 1913, and it sits on static display in Reading. It was bought by the Reading and Northern in 2008. The 425, a 462 Light Pacific, built by Baldwin in 1928 for the Gulf Mobile and Northern Railroad. She is currently undergoing her 1472 rebuild, and she was bought by the Reading and Northern in 1984. And last but not least, the flagship steam locomotive of the Reading and Northern, the 2102, a 484 Northern built in 1945 out of a 280 consolidation by the Reading Railroad. The 2102 was bought by the Reading and Northern in 1986. In addition to the 3 steam locomotives owned by the Reading and Northern, C&J 113 calls the tracks of the Reading and Northern around Minersville home. The 113 is an 060 switcher built by Alco back in 1923. She is owned and operated by the Railway Restoration Project 113, and it can be seen running excursion trains for the Reading and Northern. As of February 2026, she is undergoing her 1472 rebuild, but if you visit Minersville, you can see her. The Reading and Northern STEAM program is one of the best STEAM programs in the country, running multiple excursions a year from Reading to Jim Thorpe or Nescahoning to Pittston in the spring, summer, and winter, with fall foliage excursions in the fall. Many rail fans travel to the Reading and Northern to witness steam running hard and loud like what they used to back in the day. One of the most popular rail fanning spots is Port Clinton, where you can witness steam shaking the earth. The Reading, Blue Mountain, and Northern Railroad is a special place for many rail fans, and I can contest. Being a major rail enthusiast, there is no other place in the Northeast where you can experience the raw power of steam and diesels. I highly recommend you venture out and witness the real railroading of this railroad in the modern day. From steam to diesels, passenger to freight trains, it truly is a one-of-a-kind operation.